Hello guys and welcome back. This is a guide for the famous Temple Rush monk. Let's first go over the items. On the monk, let's start below. We want illusionary boots. What we want on them is health globe, and then we want any other affixes like strength, vitality, all resist. Like you just need globe. That's the most important thing. On the weapons, we have the Slander and Little Roach. On the Slanderer, you want attack speed and you want cooldown, and if you can, you want attack speed, cooldown, and resource cost reduction. The best in slot will be rolling, if it will roll like this, and then you roll damage, range to resource cost. The same goes for the Little Rogue. It's very important to mention that the weapons cannot have any secondary affixes. Let me see if I have one with it. Like, it cannot have stun, it cannot have freeze, fear, anything. Just like Lava each kill and experience is what you want. I will get in why you don't do that. For the pants, we're using Inna's pants, and we just want normal defense stats like dexterity, vitality, armor, and some secondary resistance. For the rings, we use Oculus. We use Oculus, and we use Obsidian, and we use Ring of Royal Grandeur. For the ring, you want globe on both of them, on secondary, and then you want cooldown reduction, and then you want attack speed. Sadly, I don't have one with attack speed. And then you want on Oculus, you want as high as possible secondary. You can equip the best one you have. Like if you have a really good Ring of Royal Grandeur with attack speed and cooldown and globe, you can go with that and then put the other one in cube. For the build, let me say, on the Ring of Obsidian, you want the crit chance to suck it always. Like so, you have attack speed, cooldown, and resource cost. For the belt, we use Inna's. Again, we want defense stats, like dex, wit, life, always. For the gloves, we're using Inna's gloves, and on those you want attack speed, cooldown, and resource cost. For the chest, we use Achilles, and you want globe on that. Actually, I have a new one laying in my stash. And then you want defense stats like dex, life, and armor. Oh, sorry, dex, life, and wit, it's called. Then we have your spirit guards as braces. You can either use that or strong arm. I recommend, if you don't have a strong arm with 30% secondary, you should cube it. You always want the most damage of your build, so put a strong arm at 30% in secondary, or go with spirit guards and equip and cube strong arms. But again, you want defense stats, dex, wit, resistance, armor. On the shoulders, we're using a Mantle of Channeling. We use that because we're using the Tempest Rush. So when we do that, we take 25% less damage. And you want dex, wit, cooldown, and resource cost if you can. But most important, you want globes. On the helm, we're using Leroy's Crown. You want int, wit, and life, or wit and life and any other main stat. And then of course you want as high secondary roll as possible, as close to 100%. And for the amulet, we're using Julia's. And for that is because we want not to die in an arcane pack. And we want globe, and then we want attack speed and cooldown. Alright. For the cube, in our weapon slot, we're using Flying Dragon. As I said, in the armory, you can either use spirit guards or the strong arm, depends on what best. If you don't have a strong arm with 30%, then you should cube it. For the ring, we're using Ring of Royal Grandeur. As I said, you can either use Obsidian, Oculus, or Ring of Royal Grandeur, depend on what's best. Alright, for the skills. On our primary, we're using Crippling Wave with Concussion. Enemies hit by Crippling Wave deal 20% less damage for 30 seconds. So, when you hit enemies, they do less damage. On our right click, I have a Deadly Reach with the Piercing Trident. And what it does is that, like, it will knock up enemies. On our one button, we have Tempest Rush with Flurry. Like, it's when you're channeling it, it will like apply ice onto enemies, and when you stop, it will make a small ice explosion. We use that to proc our Ice Blink. For my 2, I have Inner Sanctuary with Temple of Protection. That's our main defense, one of our main defenses. Allies in Inner Sanctuary are also immune to control impairing effects. And you take 55% less damage inside it. The reason why we use Temple of Protection is that the barb can like slack a bit of the IP. So if you don't have Ignore Pain and there's a pack that freezes or Vortex, you won't get Vortexed out. So it like gives more freedom to the barb to pull. Then on our 3 we have Epiphany. You're shooting mids. This is your main healing. Like, don't run Desert Shroud. Don't run anything else. Shooting Mist. And that's why. And why? Because heal amount is increased by 4% of your health globe bonus. So that's why we want globe on our 2 rings, our boots, our chest, our shoulder, and our amulet. The more globe you have, the more heals you do. On our 4, we are using Mantra of Healing with Time of Need. What Time of Need does, it gives like a little shield. You see, Shroud your allies with a mystical shield that absorbs up to 62% damage for 3 seconds, and that amount is increased by 50% of your health globe healing bonus. So the more health globe you have, the bigger the shield is. And it also gives like, if you drop below 15% life, you take 30% less damage. For our passives, we're using Chant of Resonance, so we can spam the what is called the mantra, because it's reduced by 50%. And then we use Resolve. Damage you deal reduce enemy damage by 20% for 4 seconds. Then we use Near Death Experience, like a cheat death. And then we use Beacon of Yatar for the more cooldown. For the gems, we use Ice Blink. You only need to level to 25, you don't need to 50. We use Gem of Toxin. You also need that to level 25. You don't need it to like 107 like I do. And then we use Gogok. Actually, you also only need that to 25, but you can go higher for more defense and dodge change, you see. Sorry. Alright. A little bit about the playstyle of the monk. When we are standing in a group, let's say this portal is the wizard. You always have this spamming like this. You have to spam it because you need the shield to be active, because you take a lot of hits, so you always need that shield you get from it. So this needs to be spammed, like spammed. Then you always want to place the Zank on the wizard. Don't place it on the boss killer or the barb. Always on the wizard. If the wizard moves, you move to him. This one needs to be popped on cooldown, else you will do no healing. So, then you want to use this all the time. Really sorry. This is your main healing. Like, every time, let's see what it says. Imbue yourself with water, causing your ability to heal yourself and allies with 30 yards for this life. You see, that's so every time you do like this, you can see like the blues around it. Boom, the blues is heals, it 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 heals. So everything you do will heal enemies. No, allies, sorry. So when you are attacking like this, you heal. And when Flying Dragon is proc, like, let me see if I can do it. You attack so fast that it's like perma healing. You see, like this, you heal so much. Then you place ZMonk on the wizard. And let's go through the rotation. The wizard, if the wizard is doing Oculus, you just stand here and he says he's dropping fire. Alright, let's say there's one Oculus out here. And he wants to move to that. You place your zMonk. And you can like do Tempest Rush out here. Because when you do Tempest Rush, you proc your Obsidian. Like reduce the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second. And when you do that, boom, you can place the zMonk out there. And then the wizard is standing out here, and maybe if you want to shoot here, you can like put the zMonk and you can go back in. Boom, Ice Blink. You see, it procs Ice Blink because the cold skill. Ice Blink, boom, and then he says, dropping Meteor. You do this. Only like you need to knock it up. When you knock it up, the strong Noun Bracer is procced. Like enemies hit by knockback suffer 30% increased damage. So let's say, okay, he says, I'm dropping fire. Boom. The Meteor lands, Orco spawns out here. You go like this. zMonk. You can attack a bit. And then he says, alright, shooting the arcane. Boom. Ice Blink. And up. It's very important to mention that you should not do this before his arcane, his Meteor is falling down. If you do this before, it's a knock up and there's a crowd effect on the mobs, which means the barb can't pixel. So only when the Meteor is dropping down. Let's go again. The wizard standing in the middle. He's popping. He's popping the fire. Oculus spawns. Boom. He says he want to move up. All right. We make our cooldowns to a new inner zMonk. Boom. Pop the zMonk. We heal a bit. All right. He says he's shooting Archon. And you go back. Boom. Ice Blink and knock up. Boom. All right. And then for the boss, depending on what boss you're playing. Let's say we are playing the Thorn BK. My flag is the boss. Where the pet is right now is where the BK stands. Depending on what boss, usually you stay behind the the Thorn BK. Like this, you want to put the zMonk, and then you can drag your mouse all the way to the end, like this. And then you only attack with this. You just stand like this, and you have got this active and this. And then you do like this. Back and forth, then you apply Ice Blink. You can do that like this, and then you go back and back, and you go back and back, go back and back. There you zMonk, of course. The reason why we don't use that is because it's slowing the enemies, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that, and the attack speed by 20%. We don't want to do that. We want the boss to be as much active as possible because the thorns need to. The boss need to attack his minions, and we don't want it to deal less damage because less damage means less damage to himself. So we only use this for healing, and we are applying strong now because it's a knock up. If you are playing the other one, the Corpse Lands, you just attack. And then he says, I'm gonna shoot next rotation. Alright, you're just gonna attack the other way. You don't want to hit the boss. Because if the boss get hit, it's a knock up. And if one of his mages frees the boss as well, when his pop lands, the boss already had 2 of the CC immunity on it, and it will start walking. And as soon as the boss killer pops land, you go attack it, and you pop Ice Blink. Alright, I remember I forgot my paragons. On core, we put everything in max spirit. because we want as much max rate as possible to spam this. We put the movement speed so it caps to 25%, and we put the rest in vitality. We want attack speed on this actually, and cooldown reduction. This is very important. The other things you actually don't need it. In defense, we want life, and then we want all risk, and then we want armor and life regeneration. In this, we only want resource cost and life per hit. No area damage. As I said in my barb guide, it's very important to have no area damage. And the gold find also costs lags. But most important, no area damage at all. Alright, I think that's it. And now I will show you a clip. I know it's only at 34, I think, 134. But the playstyle is the same. Either you play 134 or you play 150. So I hope it's okay. But it's actually the same playstyle. Alright, here we go.
With so low rolls
On
reduction.
Didn't wanna swap
You mean souls or what?
No, you didn't want to swap out your convention?
Ah, I forgot. Yeah, I would actually want.
Best push.
Oh yeah.
Have you experienced, tried out the black hole thing yet? Like playing with that? Oh, yeah. I take that as a
Keep
no.
that bullshit.
Wanna keep skipping? Okay.
Yeah, on this one. Don't skip all, but a little bit.
I need to do rats again at some point. I have 400 souls. What the fuck?
100.
Hellfire. Hellfire yesterday didn't.
I'm gonna do res again like today. I need 5k.
I'm going to jugger. Do.
Big shot, big shot.
Wow. Nice hit.
Oh, do you guys hear per 1%? Yeah, big shot.
Of course.
Oh, God.
Which one is the right one?
Rip. Oh, I killed it. Hawks. Oh. Lol, Lewis. Hey, try take speed.
Yeah.
I will.
I heard it. It is fun for the barb, right?
Mm-hmm. Which crit is the speed file?
This way down. Oh.
Yeah. No. Don't care which way. The same.
This way down. Yeah. No. Yeah.
That's cool.
I will have quite some holes coming.
It's a really nice course you're doing today. Sick.
I don't know. Let's go back. Rift for one.
Big. Want to do one before we go?
Yeah, enough hugs here. Oh, you're so slow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
Huge. I don't need me now. I can just stand like this. I actually port town, right?
Okay.
Ah, you need the strong now, I think.
Loot.
And ice blink.
No.
No? I can't break. Oh. Yeah, I actually did nothing there. What's sick?
Mercy, heal yourself. Don't die. Ah.
I got this, I got this, I got this, no worries. Shit. Oh my god.
Let me see without IP.
No, 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 no! Ah! Shit, shit, shit.
I'll hit on next
How can this hurt me so
next
much?
rotation.
Alright, I'm just gonna...
So
Still hear you, no worries. Yes, ah.
that was a bit.
Fucking shit, boss.
We have to place the tank before the boss spawn. For no damage from the poison.
Ah! I see.
Yeah.
Ah.
Aha, aha.
Ah.